Hello my fabulous book friends, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be reviewing the July Reading with Maria book club pick, and I'm going to be revealing for you the August one, so keep watching. Okay, so every month I've decided for my Instagram followers, by the way, I'm at ReadingMaria on there as well if you want to go ahead and follow me. So I pull my Instagram followers on which genre they would like to read, and everybody chose thriller, so I thought this was going to be a pretty good fit. It kind of was, but it kind of didn't turn out to be as thrillery as I was hoping. Okay, so this book is about literally a girl in ice. I think she's about 6 or 7 when she's found by a man named Wyatt, who is in the Arctic somewhere, and he's working on whatever science project or research project that he's working on, and he calls a woman he knows named Val, whose brother was with Wyatt at this whole expedition thing, and the brother previously died, but he knows that Val was a linguist, so he asked her to come and help figure out this girl's language because nobody knew what she was saying, even though she was frozen and she had obviously unfrozen, de-iced, whatever the word is for unfreezing. So essentially the book is about the journey that Val and this girl take to understand each other, and the little baby steps that kind of went into what actually happened with Val's brother, and also what Wyatt's intentions are with this whole science project, or I call it a science project, but this entire thing that he's working on. So in terms of the book, it was a very quick read. It is short. It's, I think, just under or just over 300 pages. So yeah, it was quick. It did seem a little long at times. The writing was really great though. I actually enjoyed it, minus the parts where like it kind of seemed a little disjointed. So you kind of had Val thinking of something, or some situation was happening, and then all of a sudden Val just kind of goes off into some completely unrelated assumption of hers that she has. So I think that kind of threw me off a little bit at times in this book, but as a thriller, I don't think it was too thrillery. I think it was more domestic thriller, or like just some kind of slow burn, slow pace kind of novel. The ending was, it did happen a little too fast, and it was very much too much of a storybook ending, I think. But other than that, I think the writing is what saved this for me. I kind of should have known that this is something more slower paced, domestic-esque, I want to say, because like we have advanced praise from like AJ Banner, Catherine Burns, Robin Harding especially. So I think in terms of that, when I look at the endorsements and then I've read the book already, I'm like, okay, that makes sense why this novel was the way it was and why these endorsements were chosen to include on the back cover. Would I recommend this book? I think yes, if you're in the mood for something slower paced, as I've said before, but also it's somewhat of a sci-fi element, which I think, I don't know, sci-fi really isn't my thing, and just reading this book and like the whole trope of girl frozen in ice and can't speak the language, I think that, I mean, I've never read any book like this before, so I think that was interesting to me, but I just don't think it was executed as well as maybe I would have liked, but I know it could totally be somebody else's cup of tea. So I do recommend reading this. Should you buy it, maybe borrow it in case you're not sure about this, but it's worth reading. And again, it's a quick book to read. You can easily use it to bump up your reading stats for the month. This author also has 2 previous books. So the first one is The River at Night, and then her second one is Into the Jungle. I'm really curious to read her debut, because usually debut books are better than whatever follows, so I think I will actually go back and read that just to kind of see what that story is about, and just kind of how it's executed, because like I said, I did like the writing. It's just, I don't know, I think it was just the sci-fi elements and the disjointedness, like the disjointed situations that were happening, that kind of killed it for me. But again, it's a good read. It's good. I gave it 3.5 stars, so yeah. Okay, so now that we've got the July pick kind of set to the side, I'm so happy to announce my August pick. So on Instagram, I had 4 options for people to choose from. One was a family drama, fiction, family life drama, sweeping decades kind of story. The second one was a horror thriller, so it said, but I mean, who knows when you read those kinds of books. And the third one, I can't remember what it was. It was probably, oh, it was a contemporary romance with an LGBTQ representation in it. And the one that was chosen was the first option actually in my poll, was literary fiction. So like well, somewhat contemporary, but like, I guess more literary is the Bizak code for it, but humorous, and yeah, so basically a funny story. So that book was Jamila Green Ruins Everything by Zarka Nawaz. So this is a Canadian author, which I'm excited that finally, like, I probably should have chose a Canadian author to start off my Reading with Maria book club, but you know what, it's fine. We're gonna do our second month with a Canadian author, and this one already, like, the endorsement quotes are like from Rick Mercer, Uzma Jalaluddin, so the author of Aisha at Last, and Hannah Khan Carries On, and Terry Fallis, which are like all Canadian household names at this point, I think. So I hope you'll join me. I will put the chat details in the description box below. If you do want to join along with the chat for August, let me know your Instagram handle in the comments and I'll add you to the chat when I make it. What I really like about this book is that it's kind of satirical, from what I understand it to be. So it's like satirical, somewhat political, again, funny, humorous. I think it's on the short list, or at least the long list, for the Stephen Leacock Medal Awards or something like that. I saw it yesterday, so I'm just like speaking off the top of my head. So it's definitely already on an award. It's gotten some national attention, but I think that obviously not enough attention for people to read it. So that's why it makes it the perfect Reading with Maria book club pick. Also, I choose books with like around 3,000, under 3,000 ratings on Goodreads. So that's the whole point of the book club, which is why, again, it makes it a perfect pick. I will read you the description because there's a lot going on in this book in a funny way, so I don't want to mess it up. Jamila Green has only one wish: to see her memoir on the New York Times bestseller list, which is like already hilarious because that's every author's dream. When her dream doesn't come true, she seeks spiritual guidance at her local mosque. New Imam and recent immigrant Ibrahim Sultan is appalled by Jamila's shallowness, but agrees to assist her on one condition: that she perform a good deed. So that sounds easy to do, right? Like, just do a good deed and some guy will help you achieve literary greatness. Jamila reluctantly accepts his terms, kicking off a chain of absurd and unfortunate events. The homeless man they try to help gets recruited by a terrorist group, causing federal authorities to become suspicious of Ibrahim, and suddenly the Imam mysteriously disappears. Certain that the CIA has captured Ibrahim for interrogation via torture, Jamila decides to set off on a one-woman operation to rescue him. I'm gonna fail at this word. Her quixotic quest soon finds her entangled in an international plan targeting the egomaniacal leader of the terrorist organization, a scheme that puts Jamila and countless others, including her hapless husband and clever but disapproving daughter, at risk. A hilarious dark comedy about the price of success and a biting look at what has gone wrong with American foreign policy in the Middle East, Jamila Green Ruins Everything is a compulsively readable yet unexpectedly touching story of one woman's search for meaning and connection. Doesn't that sound amazing? Like, it's definitely going to be a fun ride for sure. So I hope you will join me on Instagram for the book club chat. So overall, I think it was a pretty decent start for the Reading with Maria book club. But I think it's gonna have a better second month. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you for my next video.